Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a bit of a story time. I've done a couple in the past which if you're interested in I will link in the description down below. But I thought I'd cover this particular story because even though it's a little bit gross, it may help some people, especially if you have long hair and reptiles. So basically it's all about Minnie here when she ate my hair and pooped it back out again. So I'll tell you what I did in this situation and what not to do in a situation like this. Now what reminded me of this, because this happened years and years ago, it's the only time it's actually happened to me, was the other day I was talking to Gizmo while she's in her tank, as you do, and then I noticed she sort of was flicking her tongue and opening her mouth like she was trying to spit something out. And I couldn't see anything, picked her up, took her out and realised there was a strand of my hair that she must have just got in her mouth. Now luckily she hadn't swallowed it, but I think what had happened is earlier in the evening she was out on me. I shed like anything. She was walking up my hoodie, so maybe she picked something up then. And that's how that occurred. So I'm glad I caught it when I did, because she could have had the same situation as Minnie. So anyway, back to Minnie's story. So this is, as I said, the only other time this has ever happened to me. And it occurred very early on to, like, when I started owning leopard geckos. At the time, I only had Gizmo and Minnie. So this must have been probably like 2007, 2008. So basically, I noticed as Minnie was walking around her tank, I think she probably had just pooped, I noticed there was like something hanging out of her butt. And at first I thought maybe it's one of those little strands of like eco-earth just got stuck to her butt or something. So I went to like just take it off, just pull it off, and her stomach just tensed up, and that's when I realised it's not a bit of cocoa fibre, it's a strand of hair. And it must have been a fairly long piece of hair, and it was very much inside of her. So I immediately stopped pulling. The thing is, hair can be really strong and can easily do damage inside of a gecko's body. So the last thing you want to do is be like pulling on that. Just imagine it like rips through their bowels or something like that. You do not want to be pulling on it. Now the best thing you can do, from my experience, I would like to put a disclaimer here. If you find that your gecko isn't going to the toilet anymore, isn't eating properly, is lethargic, just not acting itself, please take it to the vet. This is just what I did in my situation. But if you are worried about your gecko, take them to the vet. So in my situation, I just let nature take its course. Generally, I found that the hair would come out a little bit each time the gecko went to the loo, and if it was getting too long, I'd give it a trim. Now, not so much that you'd lose the end, but enough that the gecko isn't treading on the hair. I just realised I'm telling you how to trim your gecko's butt hair. Welcome to my channel. It's not normally like this, but yeah, basically after like, I swear it was like a week or so, the entirety of the strand of hair came out. Now this was a long time ago, but I do remember knowing that it was near the end of the hair coming out, because I held it slightly, she didn't react, she just walked off and the rest came out. Lovely. Thankfully I wasn't filming much back then, so we don't have a visual for that, but you can imagine. But what I would do is every day she had this hair situation, I would check on her, get her out, just generally keep an eye on her and just see that she was acting normal, eating normal, pooping normal. After that, she was perfectly fine, and I've never had this problem since. But I did kind of want to make this video because before this happened to Minnie, I didn't even think of it happening, like, it didn't even occur to me. So, if you're out there, you don't even have to have really long hair, but if your gecko happens to go around near your hair, I know leopard geckos love to sleep on our necks because it's nice and warm. My crested gecko will launch at my hair. I don't know if she thinks I'm a branch, but if they interact with your hair in some way, or you molt like me, just double check their mouths before you put them back in their tank, because yeah, they can accidentally eat it. I would also like to say, as I said before, this worked for me, but if you are worried about your gecko, if you think they're not eating properly or pooping properly, they're acting different since they've accidentally eaten your hair or it's hanging out of their butt, take it to a vet. This worked for me, but I think if it occurred again and my gecko wasn't acting itself, I would certainly take it to the vet. Really weird side note, Whilst making this video, it reminded me of this story I was told when I was like 4 or 5. For some reason, when you're like 4 or 5, you're always putting your hair in your mouth. I don't know why. I don't know if that was just a 90s thing, but I always remember my parents telling me that a girl kept doing that and her stomach was full of hair and she died. Like, did anyone else get that story from their parents? Because I'm pretty sure it's made up. Like, I hope it's made up, but that's pretty extreme. Anyway. I hope you enjoyed this weird story time. Strangely enough, just as I'm like making this video, I just got asked about this over on YouTube. So I guess it's good timing. So I hope this has helped. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I swear not all my videos are like this. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and goodbye.